Good morning, Big Brother fans. Here is take number 3. You gotta love it when you don't start out good. It is Friday, June 29th, and the house guests are entering their 10th day in the Big Brother house. We are not even quite 24 hours, actually just not even quite 12 hours into our first set of live feeds, our first day of live feeds, and we already know, as I predicted, a ton that we didn't know before. We've certainly got a feel for the house. Most of my feelings about the cast ahead of time are kind of coming to fruition, it seems. And I'm going to talk about all that as well as the TV show. I will try to make this quick, but it probably won't be because a lot has happened. And I also have to click around to get pictures to figure out names. So I am switching right now as I talk to you to my name of the full cast. Let me talk about last night's TV show. We did see, as we had been told by the rumor mill, which seems pretty legit source this year, that Tyler won the head of household, that he nominated Sam and Steve because they were the first two off. The 8 of the house guests were safe from nominations since they didn't get to compete in the head of household competition. I don't know. I don't know if it was a good. I don't get the logic of going after Sam and Steve to eliminate them as possible head of households. I just didn't. May miss some dynamics, but why are you taking out Steve? Why are you wasting your balls on Steve when he wasn't even going to get 1 or 2 across? Because he could not maintain running across that balance beam, it seemed. I can't speak for Sam. She just apparently got slightly unlucky in getting picked on, but man, she had a run of bad luck, I tell you. We haven't even seen her yet. She has been the robot the whole time since the feeds came live. Maybe the feeds, as I record this right now, the house guests were getting woken up. By the time I'm done, I'm sure the feeds will be back. Maybe Sam will be out getting to walk around and talk to people. But I really get the feeling that Sam's got the short end of the stick. I will also say that I'm wondering if Sam's social game kind of sucks. She may have made Caitlyn mad at something she said to her early on. And Caitlyn doesn't seem like someone you want to make mad. She seems to be very a pot stirrer to me. And so I just think that Sam may have stepped in a few landmines accidentally early on. And maybe that's one of the reasons that she doesn't seem to have any support. Okay, so we've got our nominees. I don't have much more to say about the show. The app voting thing apparently went on. I totally didn't even get involved in that. We do not know who won the popularity contest. We know that Fessy lost the contest, and I guess he got to pick an app from the App Store, from this pretend App Store, whatever it is, and he picked Amazon. Maybe they don't know what this particular things are. They're just kind of presented with a list of apps and they have to pick one. Because as it turns out, Amazon is, for the next week, the doorbell will ring at odd times, or there'll be an announcement that there's a Hamazon, and I'm spelling H-A-M, Azon, not Amazon, delivery. And he opens it up and there's a box and there's a bunch of ham in it. Now, Fessy is Muslim, and Fessy would not eat pork as a rule. So on top of it being it's not really ham, it's veggie ham, and he hasn't handled it well. He was throwing some of it up last night, forcing himself to eat it and then throwing it right back up. And we'll see if we play that audio because I did record it. But he has to do it for the whole next week, and it's happened. He's gotten at least 3 deliveries so far. He got one before the feeds went live. He got one shortly after the feeds went live. And then he got one at about 4 a.m. Big Brother time that he had to get out of bed and eat. So we'll see how often this happens to him. I don't think I ever saw the spinny thing kick on for, speaking of penalties or whatever, for Casey. So she may not have had to do one thing yet. And as I said, Sam has been penalized. She's been out of the house the whole time since the feeds went live so far. What else did we notice on the feeds? There's definitely alliances definitely polarizations between the groups. It is fairly close to what they showed us on the implied on the TV show, which was what we saw picked up on last night's TV show. Is that it seemed to be that Winston and Brett formed an alliance, and then brought in Angela and Rachel, and Casey was kind of looped in, and then Tyler was looped in. So that seems to be I don't know if it's a strong 6-person alliance, but it's an alliance there that involves, really at the core, it seems to be Winston and Brett. Those two are major bros. They are major bros. And then I've noticed Rachel hanging around a lot with them. I didn't notice Angela necessarily hanging around a lot with them, so I'm not sure how strong she is in with them, but I don't think Angela's liked by some of the, especially other girls. There's definitely some girl tension in this house. I don't think you're going to see a strong girl alliance unless it's like 2 girls, because I don't think you can get more than 2 girls together without one of them having a problem with the other. Just based on the read I've seen so far, man, there's some major cattiness. The other main alliance, as we saw on last night's show, seems to be, it was Swaggy and Haley and Caitlin. Were they the start of it, or maybe Angela was in on it, or Angie Rockstar was in on it, and then they looped in Bailey and Fessy. So you've got Caitlin, Fessy, Haley, Angie, Swaggy, and Bailey. I don't know how strong that alliance is. I do know that Haley and Caitlin were telling the camera they were besties, best friends. So that may be the core of that alliance. And we know now that Swaggy and Bailey are in a bit of a showmance. We saw several instances of them making out last night and talking about it. And actually, Bailey got Swaggy to call himself Chris before she kissed him at one point. So she may have him wrapped around his finger a little bit, as big a talker he is. Okay, that's the 2 kind of main alliances. Then you get into the unknown categories. I did make an alliance chart last night and posted it based off the TV show before the feeds even went live, and so that's actually what I'm glancing at right now. We don't know anything about Sam. She's totally on the outs. JC, I'm not sure about either still. Although JC, I don't know. He seems to be running with Fessy a little bit. I'm not positive. Some people seem to think he has this popularity power thing. I'm going to guess it's Sam, but I don't know. And then you have Scotty, who Winston and Brett were talking him up, because we also have nots that I haven't mentioned yet. I'll get to that in a second. Winston and Brett were talking up Tyler. Tyler's saying he wants to keep Steve. And then later on, Scotty was talking to, who was it? I think Fessy, maybe. He was talking to that other alliance and talking to them like I have them fooled. Like I have Winston and Brett fooled, thinking I'm a part of it, and I'm just going along with what they say. And in reality, I'm with you guys. So it seems that Scotty is kind of doing that undercover back and forth, gathering intelligence on the other alliance for the Swaggy C and Company alliance. I think maybe Rockstar, I don't know. Maybe Angie was a part of that discussion. I'm not 100% sure. Lots going on. I don't know what Steve's deal is. I'm not sure where his alliance lays, but he seemed very friendly and chummy with Winston and Brett, and they seem to think that Steve is on board with them, and they're willing to go along with him to keep him around. They seem to be willing to get rid of Sam. Sam just seems to not have any allies. She's not wrong. She doesn't even have any allies in the house. I think people are more than willing to say, okay, get rid of her. I do believe that some of Winston and Brett's alliance would like to get rid of Bailey, and they're hoping to maybe force that hand and get her out of there. So, and Bailey is very, she was expressing herself alone in the lounge to the camera about if Tyler puts her up that she's going after him hardcore. But who can tell? This is people talking by themselves to a camera. I don't think they all have a full sense of the game yet. What else? Have-nots. As far as I know right now, have-nots who may have all volunteered seem to be Winston, Brett, Scotty, and Caitlin. If there's 4, there may be 5, and if there's 5, I haven't picked up who the 5th is yet. But they got alcohol last night, and I saw almost every other of those people, everyone else in the alliance or in the house drinking alcohol. So, but there was talk about, well, this person maybe have not, at first I saw Angela drinking tea with Caitlin and thought, oh, she's drinking tea because she can't have anything else. But then she also had a grape, and that would be a no-no. So I just don't know for sure. I think that is the have-nots. They're all have-nots for sure. It's if there are any other have-nots, I may have missed it. Okay, we've made it through that. We got our alliances. Power veto, I'm guessing, is going to happen today. Maybe we'll also figure out who is the holder of this other power, whatever it is. And yeah, that's I think where things stand. Let me look at one other thing. Oops, I am going to go right here. So, as it stands right now, the only people that are eligible to get evicted this week are Bailey, Winston, Angela, Steve, Sam, JC, and Caitlin. Of all those people, besides Sam and Steve, I don't see Angela, JC, or Caitlin being in any danger. Bailey and Winston might be, but I could also be totally misreading things. I do not like Winston. I do not like Brett. Those two are, oh my God, they are the biggest bromance, and we're all making fun of it. And a couple of different occasions, they're not high-fiving. They're doing the arm hook thing, where they're just kind of rush at each other with their arms extended and hook their arms like, yeah, it's like, oh my God. And I think they're being a little bit over the top silly with it, but it doesn't matter. It's like, ugh. Yeah, not a fan of Brett and Winston at all. But then again, I don't think either of them has a chance to win. And their over-the-top bromanciness may be fun to make fun of, and then when they have their downfall, I might enjoy it. So there is that to look forward to. Anything else that I can think of? I didn't notice the spy cam new cameras, except for one camera angle they showed was from the corner of the kitchen, kind of behind the sink area, which we've had that camera forever. So there was a different camera angle from the head of household room. Anything else? No real sense of... There's implications that Rachel and Brett may be in a bit of a flirtmance, but the only real showmance that we seem to see so far was Swaggy and Bailey, and they are trying to keep it secret. So there's that too. Also, Bailey was crying last night. I think she's stressing out. Maybe she's worried that she's going to get nominated. Anything else? Anything else I can think of? You know what? Really, no. I need to help Scott get audio for tomorrow night's podcast. Our second podcast of the season will be tomorrow. Did I mention that Fessy threw up? I think I did. After he got the Amazon delivery at about 4 this morning, he wolfed it down, knowing that it was probably going to make him puke, and indeed he threw it back up. So there's that funness going on. I don't know how he's going to do it for a week. And nope, can't think of anything else right now. I'm going to post this and then get back to watching the live feeds. If you haven't signed up, I'd be getting them. There's certainly been a lot of action, and it certainly so far, I mean, hey, they're all going. They're all playing the game. There's not many people that aren't trying to play this game right now. And I'm entertained in that there's so many, people willing to talk game and to do stuff. And so I can't complain. I cannot complain. I may be complaining a week from now that this cast sucks. But as of right now, they're all going hard and they're playing. And the only problem right now is that they've been in the house for a week and we haven't seen all the little ins and outs. So we're going to have to figure a lot of that stuff out. Although they did note, a couple of them did note how much everybody's personality changed, or how much some people's personalities changed once the feeds went live. So they were very conscious that they were suddenly on the live feeds, and so they've acted differently. It may take them a while to settle back into their normal patterns. All right, that's what I got, folks. I hope you have a good day. I just peeked at the feeds again, and the feeds are back. So the house guests are now up for the day. And we'll have to wait and see what time the Power Veto competition is. Assuming it's today. It may not be. It's possible they can hold off till tomorrow, but I would expect that they'll get it done today so that they can get if someone wins it, that will use it or might possibly use it, they can get some video of that dynamic. Because by now they have plenty of post-nomination video, because I would think the nominations were definitely a few days ago. So they need to get that post-Power Veto stuff. So it would behoove the producers to get the Power Veto out of the way so they can get some video of that, because that will be shown on Wednesday's show. The head of household will be shown, wait. Nomination results will be shown on Sunday's show. Oh, hang on. No. Normally, Sunday's show is nominations. End with nominations. So we've got nominations. Yeah, there may be some more dynamics because the Power Veto will actually be shown on Wednesday. God, see, here we go. This is where it gets weird. So right now, as soon as they start the Power Veto, everything that happens after that won't be shown until Wednesday's show. So pretty much, we're anything shown up until the Power Veto starts will be shown on Sunday's show. They may let it go a little bit longer if they feel I'm not sure. We'll have to see how it goes. All right, guys, I'm rambling. Sorry. I will talk to you later. Thank you to any of you who are listening. If you're new to my rambling little car cast, which I'm not in my car at the moment, I do this 5 days a week. I usually, roughly, and this is just in addition to our regular Big Brother gossip show that we do on Saturdays. And, it's just, I threw it up on iTunes and Stitcher. I've gotten a few listens on iTunes and Stitcher so far. They could be regulars who listen on my regular Spreaker, where I've been posting it for the last several years. So if you have any questions, holler at me. My Twitter account is BBGOSSIP. And otherwise, I'll talk to you guys later. Sorry for getting a little bit rambling at the end there. We'll get it down pat in the next 3 months, 2.5 months. Bye.